Good morning, Friday the 25th for KAP. This is our warm-up. Pause while you complete these two questions in the plate when you're ready. Okay, class number 1, first step is going to be subtract 4.5. When I go subtract 4.5 over here, I need to make sure what on that right side, I need to make sure I add that decimal and that zero to line it up, because that will throw off some stuff. 3.1x, bring down that greater than or equal to, and then math. We get 5.5, 15.5. Yeah. Okay. And then 3.1 divided by 15.5. I'm pretty sure we had this exact problem part yesterday. If you were here during yesterday's lesson, you get 5. Okay. If you actually need to work it out, go for it. But we did that problem yesterday. Okay. Alrighty. Number 2, we got a fraction. Fractions are fun. Okay. All right. First step is going to be add 7 to both sides. Are we agreeing with that since Autumn's the one we're talking? Yes. Yes. Okay. I know y'all just let her shake the reins. Yeah, we just okay. And 20. Okay, when I have a fraction, I sort of mentioned this, but maybe we've forgotten. What's a quick one-step way to get rid of a fraction, Carolyn? Multiplied by the reciprocal. Okay, that reciprocal is going to be a negative or positive number. It's going to be a negative. Those are the common questions that I get. You can multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of the dividing, and then divide. You can multiply both sides by 5 and then divide both sides by 2. But again, I'd rather get it done one step. And so what you can do again is multiply by that reciprocal. Multiply by negative 5/2. This would cancel out. These fractions would cancel out, and I'm left with x. To multiply a whole number by a fraction, I need to put it over 1, and then I'll get negative 1. Oh, I can cross simplify. And yes, Miss Lyles can do it because she's #lazy. 20 and 2 are both divisible by 2, and I can put 1 and 10. 10 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 50. 1 over 1 is going to give me 1 times 1. Sorry, 1 times 1 is going to give me 1. Okay, do I keep the sign or flip the sign? Flip. Okay, Hannah, if you had a question. Oops. That should be the answer still though. I should still be the answer. Steven. You mathematically should not flip it until that step. Okay? Because the only thing that causes you to flip it is when you what? Divide or multiply by a negative. And that's the step we did it, so technically no. I believe when you get to like high school math, they will get really picky. I won't get too picky. I might, like, if I notice it, I probably would notice it, but if I did notice, I'd be like, oh, not yet. Then you need to do it later. In high school, they might take off points if you do it wrong because it's showing that you're doing it at the wrong point. Okay? But again, I'm not going to be too picky as long as you flip it. Yes? Yeah. No, because if it was one, there's only one negative sign with that whole term, okay? With that. Repeat. So I have negative 2/5, and you said. Yes, correct. Times x. But since I'm multiplying this by negatives times negative makes it all a positive. Okay, if I had multiplied by positive by 2, it would be a negative x. But since I'm multiplying negative times negative, it gives me that positive. Okay. All right. So that is just a warm up, and then we are gonna hop into test review. And aware, I already mentioned that due Wednesday by 11:59. Let's just do our quick little lesson. Okay, when we started inequalities, we started with like review of like how to write inequalities, blah 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 blah. But since then we've spiced it up a little bit, and we just want to make sure that we can write the inequalities given a word problem. Okay, now we're at these 2-step inequalities, so we just want to make sure it's literally this one front page. I'm gonna do 2 with you, and then y'all are gonna be good. Okay. So let's read this first problem together. It says Ian needs to save at least $85 for a new pair of basketball shoes. He has $25 in his piggy bank, and he can save $12 from his allowance each week. How many weeks will Ian need to save to earn at least $85? Now, we have 3 easy steps to help you break it down if you need it. Eventually, you'll notice on this worksheet that we get away from the 3 steps. Like, we're not going to write out this whole thing every single time. It's just steps to help you practice getting there. Okay? As always, we want to start with our unknown, our variable. What don't we know in this? What are we trying to find? Amen? Exactly. How many weeks do you have to save? What letter could we use for that? W. Okay, we always want to define it. So W is going to be the number of weeks. Okay. As we know, in an inequality, we're comparing 2 things. We're comparing whatever situation to a final number. What is like our final number that we're comparing it to in here? 85. Very good. Okay. It's going to be comparing it to 85. Then complete the left side. So I always like to have like 85 on one side, and then this is going to be where I put like my equation part, my expression part. Okay. So how am I calculating to get to that 85? I'm doing very good. Okay. So either way you write it technically works. I don't usually. What Saki said was you would do $12 for each week, so we would multiply it times the number of weeks, and then we also can add the amount that's already in the $25. Okay, are y'all understanding how we did that? Mathematically, can I write the 25 plus 12W? Is that going to give me the same amount? Yes. Okay, it's that commutative property. It allows me to do either way. Some people like to have their starting value plus that. Okay, either way works just fine. And then, can I have exactly $85 and be okay? If we need to save at least 85, could I have exactly 85? Yes, so it's going to be equal to, but is it going to be less than 85 or greater than 85? Greater than 6. Okay, and so that's what you would write in that final inequality. It's just asking yourself a few questions. Okay, let's just do one more, and then I'll let you be on your own. Number 2, the vet told Sarah that her dog should weigh at most 70 pounds. Her dog weighs 106.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Her dog weighs 106 pounds, so Sarah set a goal that he would lose 4 pounds per week. How many weeks will it take Sarah's dog to weigh 70 pounds or less? So again, what is our variable in this situation? What are we trying to find? The number of weeks. So again, we can use the same thing. W is number of weeks. And we're comparing it all to how much? 70 pounds. We want that dog to weigh 70 pounds. He's just a little bit of a chunker right now. That's okay. No fat. I just always imagine one of those like wiener dogs, you know, and they're real big and you got the short legs. You see them on the red, and then they put them on a chub now. Okay, fine. All right, so how are we getting to that 70 pounds? What's like our starting amount? 106, and then what are we going to do to that 106? Subtract 4W, because if you're losing weight, is that adding or subtracting 4 pounds per week. Okay, those keywords per week, multiplication, and stuff like that. And again, I'm comparing that to 70. So we want to ask, can it weigh exactly 70 pounds and be okay? Yes, it can. And then do we want to be greater than 70 pounds or less than? Less than. Okay, we want to be less than. Okay, so just quick, I always want to ask these questions. If I wrote 4W minus 106, can I switch those terms around? No, okay, because then we're having a dog that weighs negative pounds and is floating in the air like a balloon. Okay, I don't think so. So just making sure we understand that. Do we feel pretty okay? Okay, so again, on questions like this, it's not always going to have these 3 step, but it's questions to ask yourself. What are we trying to find? What are we comparing it to? And then how do I get there? Okay? So I want you to go ahead, take a few minutes, finish the rest of that page. We'll check it, and then I'll let you be free. All right, and here, when you're done, come on for a second. Okay. All right, here is 3, 4, and 5. Let me resize this real quick, just a little bit. Oh, there's 3, 4, 5 of those at the bottom. I'm going to pause real quick. And there's 6. All right, hopefully you're doing okay. Again, like this one, you can switch it. On this one, it could be 2.5D minus 55. I think they just wrote it like this because you're starting with a debt. And so a lot of times some people like to have their starting values first, the first term, but technically it doesn't matter. Okay. So what's happening today on is it the inside of the packet or I can't remember. I think it's the inside of the packet, whatever matches these 2 pages. You're going to solve the inequalities. These should be fairly straightforward, nothing too crazy in there. And you're going to find the graph that matches it. Just make sure you can either write the letter on the graph or the number on the thing. Just show that you matched it somehow. We already did that. And then that back page is going to be your homework, and you can work on your test review if you finish all of that. Yes, sir? You may work with a partner. And that is today's lesson.